thought my gap year would be peaceful, fun, and full of self-growth, but life had other plans for me. Hello my babies, hello my lovers, it's your girl Habajwala Ocean Tipa, and I'm back on your screens once again. And if I'm new on your screen, welcome to It's All About Haube, the place where the vibes are real, the glow is personal, and the content is always hot. Mwah. My reasoning of taking a gap year wasn't because I was tired or I didn't want to study anymore. It was mainly because I didn't know what I wanted to study and I wasn't fully sure on what I wanted to study. I had already actually applied to a school called Varsity College. I was in, technically, and I just had to enroll into the school and go on and continue with my course. The course that I had taken at Varsity College was the entrepreneurship course, but within making that decision, I wasn't still confident in the entrepreneur course is really what I want. It was just more so something just to do just in case if I still don't know, because I finished writing my exams around November 2024 and it was holiday from then, and I just did that just to buy time on my decision and be sure maybe if I truly want to continue with that decision or not, because other kids were also applying to schools, and luckily I'm in a household where my mom understands these things. It's not too much of a you need to go to school, you need to be a doctor, you need to provide for us. So it's more so my decision is my decision, and me taking a gap year was more so because I truly didn't know what I wanted to do in this year. I wasn't sure my decision yet. I had applied to a school, but then I asked myself a question: that am I gonna take an entrepreneurship course for 3 years? I don't like it. I don't have the passion for it. I don't want to waste my time on something that maybe along the lines while I still learn, I'll lose motivation into studying it, and then I will no longer want to study, and then I'll end up dropping out. I'll forcefully have to take the course because it's been paid for, you know? So it wasn't a decision where, I mean, applying to that school was more so just to have something to be like, okay, I applied to a school and maybe I'm gonna take this. But deciding to no longer take the thing anymore, I didn't feel ashamed to tell my family that actually I don't want to take it. It was more so, guys, I don't want to waste money on a course that I will probably lose all the passion and motivation to study for, and I'll just do it for the vibes and I'll get bad marks in the middle of the year. So I'm just leaving it, and in this whole year I will figure out what I want to do next year. And this gap year, I mean, I didn't really have plans for my gap year. I didn't really be like, okay, I want my gap year to look like this, but I had little plans, like for example finding a job and working for a couple of months to have my own income, because I have worked before, and earning your own money is nice than asking your parents to give you money all the time, you know? So things like that, and then like hanging out with friends, getting my learners, you know, little things like that. But as I've said in the intro, life had other plans for me, and January was more so where I started applying to most places, and that's where it hit me that, you know what, this journey of finding a job will take longer than expected. I did have a job way back when I was around in grade 10, but I do have experience on my CV, but it was still difficult finding a job, and jobs solely were based on the experience that you have, or if you wanted an internship you need to be studying, and I didn't have all of those things. And you guys might be asking, why didn't I go in person to the stores? It was more so that when you go to these stores in person, they might be like, actually no, you have to apply online, and then there was no point of you even taking taxi fee and going to that place, because they will tell you that no, actually you need to apply online. Whereas when you go in person, I mean, they actually take people in person rather than online. So I just applied online more, and I was applying, honestly, January was the first month of this year where I was applying and I truly wanted a job. And then February came where I started losing it a little, and then I was like, actually, you know what, in this frame time of me applying for a job, I could also focus on my content, as I've had YouTube before, but I couldn't really focus on it before, but now I truly have time to focus on it. And my brother also telling me that, no man, like, focus on building your portfolio into editing, into filming your content, so that you could also do other things on the side. Use this time, everything that I didn't have time to use it on. If I didn't get a job, well, I was starting to lose hope around February, March, because I didn't receive a job. I wasn't receiving any callbacks, any emails back and things like that. So I was kind of like, okay, focus on, you know, maybe build up my Lechabile brand again and bring it up again, but also building a brand and trying to wake it up from the death, you know, trying to wake it up from the grave. It's also hard hard because I guys kunzima. Honestly, this year truly showed me that some things are not as easy as we think they are. You have to take time, you have to dedicate, you need to learn about those things, you need to study them, and then once you start applying whatever you've learned, that's when maybe things are gonna go into plan. So within this whole thing, one of my brother's friends, his sister was graduating, and my brother had told him that, oh yeah, like my sister, you know, films and stuff like that, and also, you know, edits, so you could just call her. And that was a nice experience for me. It was like an experience that also put some confirmation into my decision for the school that I will go into next year. And I basically went with her on her graduation, and I filmed her whole graduation for her, and then once I arrived home, I edited her graduation for her. So that was really nice, even though I had the pressures of not receiving a job and seeing everybody on social media, my mates, my school classmates, continuing with their lives, finding jobs, and it was so easy for them to find jobs, or even traveling abroad to places and working in those other places. It hurt, obviously, because it's kind of like, okay, now I see where we all stand with one another. Even though we went to the same school, you kind of see the difference now, you know? And it's kind of like, what am I doing so wrong and what are they doing so right? Like, what's it? But also connections go a long way too, you know? So it kind of hurts seeing your peers and your mates and people are the same age as you continue with their lives, yet you're stuck at home. But I'm not the only one who's stuck at home, who's unemployed. There are many young people that have finished school, that have degrees that are just sitting at home collecting dust. So I'm not the only one, but you feel like you're the only one in that moment. Also, one thing I actually forgot to mention is the fact that when I actually started this year, I don't know who I told. There's somebody whom I told that's close to me, and I was like, this year's gonna change me. I know it is, and I still stand on that statement that I said, this year is gonna change me. I don't know change me in what way, but I know that this year will definitely change me. I don't think it's gonna be a bad year for me, even though I still haven't gotten a job or I don't have any source of income, but I feel like something good is gonna come out of this year, you know? I don't know why too, because I'm 6 months into this year, into my gap year, and nothing is moving. I don't have a job, but also standing on the part of the fact that I didn't get a job, it really did hurt because I like my own independence. I like being independent. I like earning my own money because then I get to use it to whatever I want to use, to buy myself things myself, to go out with my own money. So it did hurt not getting a job or not doing what you wanted, or easy things like getting a job where it should be easy. Places should be taking kids after school that just want to work, you know? So it kind of did mess up my plans, but also I proceeded with other things. The unexpected things that really happened within my gap year is not fulfilling the list that I had, which was get a job and study for my learners, because I had studied for my learners last year in 2024, but sadly I had failed my learners and then I crashed out, and then I was like, I'm gonna do it again because I want to do it again and I want to prove the fact that I could beat that whole of a test, you know? And I'm still planning to do it, but I just don't know when I'll get the productivity and the courage and the mentality and procrastination to leave my body so that I could start studying for the exam and get my learners, because I want to start driving. By next year I want to drive, but I also know there's some things that are going to hold me back from driving next year. Then also within this gap year, within this time, I also went to figure out what I wanted to do next year, and going to that event that my brother had suggested me for, and filming for my YouTube channel, loving watching movies, loving editing. It then came to me looking into the School of AFDA, and I went to the open day, and then that was just my love at first sight, where I was like, this is what I want this, give it to me, I need that. And I went to the open day and it was an amazing open day. My brother even said, honestly, Howbe, you should start learning by tomorrow, and I was like, I am ready for it if they will take me. As I've said, plans for next year, you know. And editing and my YouTube, even though I did feel discouraged and did feel left behind by my peers and everything else, I did also find my passion and I did find my happiness within editing my videos, or editing videos for people and filming for people. It just did something to me where I was like, I want it. It brings so much passion to me. I'm in love with this thing, you know. And I feel like I'm kind of more in love with editing more than filming, but I don't know. As time goes on, we'll see which one I like more. Honestly, what I've learned in this gap year is not to rush into everything. Don't want to bamba everything. You can't have everything all at once. Have patience to take things one at a time. Focus on one thing at a time. Also, if you're not able to multitask, don't try and start multitasking now with a lot of things. And be truthful to yourself that, okay, I I can't multitask with this, so let me not even start it. This year just taught me not to have expectations, because I always had expectations for things and then I'd always end up disappointed. But also not having expectations and having an open mind, you see things differently, and things that you would have been disappointed in if you did have expectations, you find them appreciative and you like them, you know. And I got to know myself, the type of person that I am. I got to find my passion, things that I like, and I got to see if I try this, what will I like, and if I do this, will I like it or what, you know. Guys, a gap year is not bad, yeah, but a gap year is bad when you have expectations of how you feel your gap year will go. Unless of una connections or connector everywhere, then your gap year will truly go the way that you want it to go. But when you don't, have an open mind to your gap year. Also, don't take a gap year as in I want to find a job so I could work. Also take a gap year as in let me just focus on the hobbies that I could have focused on but I wanted to focus on. But revising on the 6 months of this gap year that I had, I truly don't regret anything that I did. I wouldn't go back. I would sit in my bed and watch there. I did that for this whole 6 months. I read books, PDF books to be specific. I enjoy editing. I found that I enjoy editing, you know. I wouldn't take back anything. And if anybody would ask me if they should take a gap year, I would say it depends though. I feel like if you know where you're going and you know what you want, don't take a gap year. Fully continue with school until you're done, so that once you're done, that's when you could be like wusa, you know. And honestly, to be honest, I can't wait to see what this year brings me, and I can't wait to see what this year will bring to me. I feel like it will bring good things to everyone. And don't do any comparisons, because comparisons will truly make you underestimate your own work and your own doing within your own life, and it will truly be like you did nothing for yourself. But I thought this gap year would give me answers, but instead it taught me how to sit in the unknown. It taught me to be comfortable in the unknown. It taught me to not compare myself to others. It taught me to have fun, do things that make me happy. It also gave me space and time to advance my skills, proper my skills, and focus on things that I never got to focus on. And those that are taking a gap year, please share your experience down in the comments. And those that are not and you're thinking of a gap year, I hope this video helped you out. And education is key. It opens so many doors, and I know that. I've seen that in this gap year. Trying to find a job, you need to have education, you need to have qualifications. Guys, study if you haven't figured it out, but if you don't, take the gap year to figure it out so that you could study in the following year. But share your opinions on how your gap year was and how your experience is, or if you're thinking of taking a gap year, tell me how maybe this video helped you or whatever. But like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the post notification to get a notification of whenever I post. I really hope that you guys like this video. Comment who you are, where you're from, and what you would like to see from me next. Until next time, bye my lovers. Mwah. Oh, no.